Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to do a quick video on Bitcoin and looking at the Bitcoin charts on the monthly time frame. So what I essentially wanted to uh, bring to your guys' attention is um, basically where the RSI is at. Currently right now we're at 68. You can even round that up to 70. The important part is we're coming to the band outside the RSI like region in oversold territory. Now this is by no means to indicate that we're like getting bearish or anything, but I just want us to take note about the complete macro scale of Bitcoin here uh, with the RSI. Every single time we have left this region, it trended to the high 90s every single time. Um, we see it here and we see it here, which I would argue is extremely bullish. And also right now, when we look at the MACD, momentum is shooting up. This is not like a tall tale indicator, but when momentum's swinging up here, the last time we've had something like this was during the last bull run, when momentum swung up and trended up, it really kept on going. The only caveat to that would be 2019 bull run, where we kind of peaked out and came back down. So there is uh, like historical precedence in regards to, well, just because the monthly MACD is trending upwards doesn't mean um, that is an indicator. However, right now, as we see, um, for the RSI, that has happened in the past, and it's happened every single time. One thing to note, though, and I want to point out on June 1st, 2016, and also September 12th, 2012, the month of September 2012. Before we shot up to 90 on the RSI on the monthly chart, we did touch the 70 the 70 RSI, or very close to it. In 2012 it was 71 RSI. In 2016 there's 67. You can also consider the 2019 one in there as well, where we did go up to like 65 on the RSI. Every single time we do an attempt to go above it, um, prior to the bull run to the high 90s, we always correct it down. In 2016, it went down approximately, like roughly, like collectively, like 15% down in the span of 2 months. Here, it was a drop of 10% on the month, and then we rallied back up. Um, and it seems like this is going to be like a two form factor here. So this is how it might play out. We will hit this, we will retrace on the R, like price would probably come back down for a few months, or at least stay moving sideways, because moving sideways also indicates trending downwards, for the RSI to come back to the mean, so to speak. But it looks like I would assume, and this is entirely my perspective here, and assumptions are what they are as assumptions. We will hit resistance here on the 70 RSI. We might go above it to like 71, 75. It's entirely possible. But we should, based on previous price history, revert back, come back down. And then once we bottom out on the RSI, continue forward, moving up to the not high 90s, and historically speaking, when it does hit the 90s, that's usually when the run is over, the party's over, and then we come crashing back down. I kind of drew that a little too far. Also, according to Bitcoin's history on the RSI, around 40 is the kind of bottoming out, so to speak, for Bitcoin. So um, with that said, is the bull run coming soon? Well, when we look at the monthly chart, it looks like it's just around the corner. But keep in mind, each and every candle is a month. So this could very well happen in the span of months, as it should. And for me, the idea of lengthening cycles, that cycles are lengthening, I do agree with that theory. So what we could do um, is when we do trend down, that trending down might be a combination of like a significant drop and it kind of moving sideways, which will continue the RSI to go down, and then we shoot up. And mind you, it potentially could, as you can see here, the angles of the ascension are getting less steep. I should use a line here. It's like here. It's like here. So, with that said, we could potentially see a less steep incline on the RSI, which would make sense if you believe in lengthening cycles, which is what I do. So although this is very bullish, that we're up at this level, it could very well expect, like we have seen in the past, a pullback on the RSI, indicating a pullback in a potential significant pullback in price, and and uh, and then rebounding up, and then that's when um, you could say like the party's just getting started, so to speak. So what should we do then? Because we've seen that like the last bull run in 2019 has shown that uh, uh, if we don't look at any of the price history before that, and we're looking at it here, it would have been clear indicator saying, hey, past two times it did happen, and every single time we went down and we shot right up. This is it. Well, this is why you shouldn't always rely on just the RSI. Um, Something that we've also talked about is the 20-week weekly moving average in this regard. Let me get rid of this here. So the weekly moving average is also a indicator. We must hold it in order for the trend to continue, like what we've seen in the past here. When we make support of the 20-week consistently over weeks, months, years, the bull run continues, so to speak. As soon as we see the weekly candle close below it, the party has been over. It showed us in the recent one here, and also here as well. Like the party was over, and it's there's going to be a significant price change to the downside. So, having said that, let's look at the monthly chart one more time and figure out at which point. So we're looking at basically June 1st of 2016. We can flip it to the weekly and simply look at what was Bitcoin doing. So June of 2016 was right at the peak before we tested the 20-week. And mind you, it was the second time we tested the 20-week. Before, we tested it here, and then we followed it up with a rally, and then here. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's look at the next one. So basically, we're looking at it was very brief. September 1st, 2012. Okay, so let's flip it back to the weekly and get a sense of what was Bitcoin doing on a smaller time frame. So here, look at what Bitcoin did, and it's quite amazing. So September 1st was right here, around this time. We had just made contact with the 20-week moving average, and moved up, retraced, made it as support a second time, and continued the rally. Okay, so we see in conjunction with the monthly RSI that when it first hits, it comes back down. When we look at the weekly, at the same time the RSI was peaking at that 70 RSI level, we two things had happened. One, we've already made contact with the 20-week in the past few weeks. We made that local peak there, and then we retraced back down to the 20-week. Okay, so when we look at this instance here, yes, the RSI was at 70. It was at 70. However, we all knew at that point the two criteria was not met. It simply was not met. We rallied extremely hard, up to $14,000. Not once in that span of time we retraced back down to the 20-week, and when we did go back to the 20-week, we did not treat it as support. So, and this is the reason why I would say that this come around is different. Um, it is. I would argue that it's different, and I would argue that it would reflect the previous times it's done this, and this is not going to be another 2019. However, like I believe it's low, but it's never zero. The chances are never zero, and it can happen. It could happen. So look at what we did. Look at what we're doing. Is the more important part. We broke past the 20-week. We rose. We were above it. We were traced back down. We've already made contact with the 20-week, and we've rallied up. We're continuing to rally up. It could move sideways, but keep in mind that where's the monthly RSI at this point in time? We're at 70 RSI. So what could happen, what might play out, is that at some point this month or next month, we will begin the retrace, and our target is going to be the 20 weekly moving average. And then that's when we really need to hold it as support. And once it does, it will come back up. And let me tell you, that's when like that's when the party's starting. Like this is when this happens. Okay. And that's the main reason why we're all here today. Um, and that's why we're all watching the price of Bitcoin. And we're waiting for these giant peaks in the RSI where it goes extremely oversold, volatility really shoots up to the upside, and you see the massive gains that Bitcoin does. So that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. I thought this was very interesting to see because we've seen it happen twice in Bitcoin's history, and we're looking to make it a third go around. But let me know what you think of the video in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you really liked it, hit subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Take care.